Very good. Okay, I'd like to introduce Shea Bloom. Shea's Women in Recreation Fishing and Boating leader and a prominent face in our fishing industry. Residing in the Upper Murray region, Shea's a wife and mother, has 2 boys and enjoys spending time on the water with her family, chasing trout. She's actively involved in many clubs and committees, and Shea's been talking about, or will be talking about, why women are flocking to fishing and how the WIRFAB network is supporting them. So please welcome Shea. I just popped the glass out of the way. Don't want to cut anyone else.
Thanks, Gus. Thanks, Briggsy. I reckon you broke land speed record on that talk because I've never ever seen you talk so quickly. So well done. Catch up. I just wanted to quickly touch on the congratulations to Terry. That's hugely deserved. I know, like, post bushfires and like what you've done for our community up in Corryong's just amazing. So another huge congratulations to you. Thank you. Now, I better start my talk. So, what is WIRFAB? So, Women in Recreational Fishing and Boating Network. So, the network inspires and encourages female participation, and this was developed by the VFA in 2018. WIRFAB is a safe space for women to be able to share, ask questions. It was initially developed post a survey to highlight some of the barriers that women face in fishing. So what it was really about was getting more women to fish in Victoria. So we started off with a small, very small Facebook group, and we've developed into, I think we've got about 4,500 women on our Facebook page. So, which is pretty amazing. Oh, I was on the wrong slide, sorry. So just before I get to the next slide, I just wanted to share my story on how I get involved in WIRFAB. So in 2019, I was up in Queensland and I caught a massive GT, and I was looking at somewhere to like brag. Of course, we all want to brag about our big catches. So I got online and I was looking at women's fishing, and WIRF popped up, and I was like, what's this WIRF? Anyway, got on, joined, shared my photo, and it was really heartwarming to hear those wonderful messages from other women saying, great catch, how did you catch it, what did you catch it on? And so from there, not long after, there was a bit of a shout out to new leaders, and they wanted to hire new leaders for WIRFAB. So I thought, oh, what have I got to lose? I'm going to put my hat in the ring here, and I was selected in 2019. So we went up to AFTA, which is the Australian Trade Fishing Association. So it's one of the biggest fishing trade shows in Australia. It is the biggest fishing trade show in Australia. And I got to meet some amazing people in the industry, but the thing I took away from it was I love fishing, but hearing that other women were so passionate about fishing as I was, like it was really, really, really exciting. So I've been a leader for 6 years, and I've been a mentor to the new leaders that are coming in for 2 years. What I've achieved in the time, one of the big things was meeting the ATF and the whole crew, all the volunteers, and then in the 2019-2020 bushfires, I live in Corryong, so we were hit pretty hard, as a few people have mentioned. I really panicked after the fires, and I was like, there's these dead fish, and what do we do? And I rang Briggsy, and I rang, whoever would listen to me and saying, we've got this real problem. And from that, our area especially has just grown so much, and we've just had so much help after the bushfires, and I really think without WIRF, that would never ever have happened. So that's just a little bit on my journey. So our expansion and progress. So last year we included the boating aspect. So we used to be Women in Recreational Fishing. we're now Women in Recreational Fishing and Boating. So some of those things that we do is boat safety, boat licence clinics, so we help women to get their boat licences, and trailer backing clinics, which has been really, really popular so far. Then we've got our new strategy, so our from 2024 to 2030. And some of those things, we've got five priorities on that, and that's education. So that's to continue to provide opportunities and empower women to inspire, be confident, and in their fishing and their boating journeys. Community building is the second one, and that's to support and upskill female fishers and boaters to foster an active and collaborative community. So really to spread the word about what women in rec fishing and boating is and how we can inspire others. Advocacy and consultation to improve representation of women in the fishing and boating industry. So we really, really want to do that. Participation. So one of our big things was to get more women fishing. And we've really, really achieved that. Gathering information. So to better understand the barriers to increase female participation and monitor and measure the delivery. So the VFA will monitor this progress annually with things such as surveys. So we have a dedicated website, which is Women in Recreational Fishing and Boating, and we've got resources on there such as fish handling, like fish targeting, so there's bream, there's cod, there's trout, there's squid, there's tuna. There's so many different resources on our page to be able to get in there and have a look. There's events and what events are coming up. So like I'd mentioned before, any clinics. We've got Maz here. Maz is out the front tying flies, which she's doing an amazing job. So if you haven't met Marion, go and meet her. She's out the front tying flies. So we've got a leadership program as well. So, sorry. It's how to be involved, and then every year we have an intake of new leaders. So this year, 6 new leaders came on, and we're finding each year the calibre of those women anglers that are coming in are just amazing. So it's really, really great to see some of the leaders in the industry getting recognised the way that they should be. Our online community growth. So as I mentioned before, we've got 4,500 women that are on our socials at the moment. So our initiatives for women is our online resource hub, like I mentioned before, on our website, skill-based clinics. So different leaders obviously bring different things to our network. So we've got free divers, we've got boaters, we've got fishers, we've got land-based only, we've got boat-based only, we've got kayak fishers, we've got so many different women that are able to bring their own special piece to the industry. We have networking, we have skills nights, tackle shop talks. We have met some amazing people in the industry. We have knowledge sharing online. While we were in the middle of COVID, we had WIRFABs. So, we weren't able to get out to come to these fishing nights. So we were able to deliver that to our audience. Professional development. This is something that we do internally to better skill ourselves to really reach out to our community and spread our message. The WIRFAB website, which I have already briefed on. So it was, as I said, created in 2018 by the Victorian Fisheries Authority. There's lots of guides, tips. Get on, have a look. It's fantastic. I've somehow missed a slide there. That's okay. I've probably said it all anyway. If you want to know more, jump on the website. Belinda Yim is a great contact as well, so reach out to her if you need. And yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Thanks, Shea. Any question before you go, Shea? Any questions of Shea? Just anything from the floor?
Now, we've got about 28. We've got about 28 members, active members. There's a lot of others that are inactive, but there's only one woman in it. Now, that woman happens to be a partner of our president, and I'm quite sure that if our president wasn't in our club, that female wouldn't be in our club either. Now, our club doors are open to anybody and everybody. We're welcome. We want to see our membership increase, and particularly younger members. How do we go about trying to encourage women to join our club?
So just there's a few different avenues you can use. There is, we do have WIRFAB local groups, so we do have one in the northeast, which I'm the leader of. So reaching out to myself, I'm happy to talk to you. Come and see me on the lunch break, and I'm more than happy to give you the contact of Belinda Yim. I'd be more than happy to come and do a guest speaking session at your club, or even through your socials. Like your one lady member might be able to pop on and say, is anyone in the Mansfield area? We'd love more women members in the Mansfield area. So things like that.
Just got a question up the top here.
G'day, I'm Shane from Northern Suburbs Fly Fishing in Melbourne, just out of Yarrambat. We've been trying to get women into our club as well. Do you have you must know where all these women are.
They're on our socials.
So is it possible? Is it possible for our fishing club? We've got about 90 members and just a couple of women. Is it possible for you to say, look, we've got 30 girls, ladies out in the northern suburbs, and hey, northern suburbs has got a facility out there. Why don't you come along? And is it possible to organise something like that?
We're more than happy. Have you got women members already?
Oh, we've got a couple, but
yeah.
And when we get a young lady in there, like I'm 70, so anyone under 50 is young.
Yep.
But, all I see is old guys. So
yep.
It'd be nice to, it's pretty hard to get young people and, yeah.
Yeah. And look, if you want to hop on, or like one of the other women members want to hop on, and if you're having an event to share the information out to those women, we're more than happy to share that information, and that goes for all clubs, not all at once, because I'm sure we'll be a bit inundated, but we're more than happy to share that information if you are having a day to say, women, come along and have a go. That's what we're all about. We're there to advocate for women and clubs, and yeah, just to get women out there and to have a go. Thank you.
Yep, one more, Shea. Hi, my name's Lee Spiro, and I'm the first female president of Albert Park Yachting and Angling Club, and we have 2,000 members. So in that time, we've had 4 WIRFAB leaders come through, and really do get one of them to come out and speak at your club, because they're amazing, and they will actually inspire other members to come and join females. We now have more females on our wait list since we've had a female president than we have males. So get Shea and the team out there, and they will definitely help you guys grow.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Shea, and thanks for those words too, because I suppose for the board and the VFA, we recognise that if we want people being together and getting the best out of our community, then we need women involved in fishing. And so to the credit of the ladies that have been involved in this, they have grown at quite a rapid pace, and if we took that further the next couple of decades, well, I don't have any doubt that we're going to grow participation from women in fishing, and it's the effort of Shea and the likes that's done it, and all the VFA did was recognise that we've definitely got something we've got to develop. I'd like to introduce John Billing. John's the president of Mending Casts. He's an avid trout fisher. He grew up in Tasmania, sorry about that, John, and spent his teenage years with his father and family learning to fly fish in some pretty pristine waters up at Tassie. His love for fly fishing continued when he moved to Victoria in the 1980s and eventuated in John becoming an accredited casting instructor, where he first became aware of the Casting for Recovery retreat. John became the president of Many Casts in 2020. Since its inception, it's an official charity, and there's nearly 100 men and women with 4 more retreats planned for 2024-25. So John's going to be here to discuss mending casts. So welcome, John.
All right, thank you everybody. Thank you to Fisheries and ATF for the opportunity to speak to you all today. One of the things I've noticed actually through presentations that's come through is the influence of volunteering in the fishing community. And that's no more important than the organisations that ourselves that are 100% volunteer driven. Can I just see a raise of hands of everybody who's been involved with one of the mending cast retreats? So there's probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 people in the room here, please. So if you have a chance when we're meeting outside at lunch, feel free to jump up and have a chat to them, and they'll be more than willing to give you their impressions about what our retreat's about and follow up on this presentation. But so what I quickly want to do is basically take a little bit of a segue from, I guess, the environmental and the wild trout focus on the conference to date and talk more about the health and wellbeing benefits that our programs offers, especially to people in the cancer space. So like I said, Mending Casts is an organisation that was created to run free live-in fly fishing retreats for people with cancer. And we do that through male and female programs, and we offer those to people at any stage in their cancer journey, be that from initial diagnosis through to stage 2, stage 4, terminal, or even post-recovery 20 years down the track. It doesn't matter. So in dealing with that range of participants, we have a number of challenges, and obviously how we keep them safe and happy and provide them with the experience that they will forget, that they won't forget for the rest of their lives. So why fly fishing? There's a lot of research in the States that's gone on in past about establishing the connection between fly fishing and mindfulness. For those people who are fishers, I'm just sort of preaching to the converted here a bit. But that moment when you're focusing on a fish in the water and everything else around you disappears into the background. There's also a fair bit of evidence about the physical benefits of fly fishing, especially for people recovering from cancer surgery and so forth. You know, the casting stroke has been shown to provide the opportunity for people to mend and heal from their surgeries. And the other aspect of it is the social connection. In our retreats, which I'll go through in a minute, we spend a lot of time connecting people in a social environment and getting them to share their experiences with one another and create a camaraderie that lasts well beyond the retreat. So like I said, we run separate retreats for men and women, but the focus of the program is roughly the same. So these are normally 2 to 3 day events. Traditionally, we'll run them on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Although with COVID and the cost of accommodation are going through the roof, we have been running them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays and midweek to try and keep costs down. But traditionally they're run over a weekend. So we'll all convene on the Friday night, get to do a meet and greet, and part of the breaking the ice exercise is a fly tying session where everybody gets together, we tie flies together, and hopefully they get to tie a fly that they can use when they're fishing in the next couple of days and catch a fish on their own fly, which for us fly fishers we know is the holy grail. We also participate in group discussions. So like I said, we get together in a collegiate environment. The participants get to share their experiences with each other and go through some of the challenges that they're facing. But we have accredited counsellors who facilitate those discussions, so it's done in a controlled and shared environment. Then we start the second day with fly casting and basic fishing instructions. A lot of these people have never even picked up a fishing rod before. So they're coming to a brand new experience, and we hope that they'll keep on with it after the retreat. So we want to make sure that they get taught properly and in a way that is not too challenging for them, but at the same opportunity gives them the opportunity to catch fish during the retreat. Some of the women will also get a pampering session. There's a company we use called Live Good, Feel Better, which some people may know of, that provide pampering services for women dealing with cancer. And then when we go to the fly fishing sessions on the third day, the participants are all paired up with a fishing buddy. So they're like their fishing guide. So they're responsible for carting their gear around, looking after them, being a sounding board, talking to them about their experiences and so forth throughout the retreat. And like I said, these are free live-in retreats. So we supply all equipment, all food, all accommodation. All the participants need to do is rock up and participate. Everything is laid on for them. We try to keep our retreats to a maximum of 12 participants because, and given the way in which we structure the events, moving from one to the next is probably the most opportune number of participants that we can accommodate to give them all an equal opportunity to get the most out of the retreat. Our key successes, like Gus mentioned, we've been operating as many casts since 2019, although our first retreat was actually a casting for recovery retreat back in 2018 up at Eildon, but as many casts, we've been operating as an organisation since 2019. In that time, we've attained official charity status and deductible gift registration status as well, so we're official charity. We've put 95 participants through our retreats to date. We've got another 4 retreats coming up this year, so we'll hit the 100 participant mark coming up with our next retreat in October. The most heartening thing, to be honest, is this 99% feedback. So we do post-retreat exit interviews with all our participants and all our volunteers as well. And it's virtually unanimous that everybody that's been involved with our organisation has had an overwhelmingly positive outcome. So that's not only a glowing endorsement for what we're doing, but also gives you a lot of confidence that people are getting out of it what you hope that they're getting out of it. And we'll continue fishing longer and longer after the retreats are finished. On that point, so we've had, of those 95, 28 have been involved in fly fishing, and 16 of them have continued on with fly fishing post-retreat. So we're picking up new fly fishers, introducing them to the sport. We do that also by running these retreats in regional locations throughout Victoria. So our next men's retreat will be here in November up at Merrigi. And we involve the local fishing clubs, local communities, as a way of getting everybody involved from a local point of view. Because one of the challenges with cancer support is there's not a lot of regional cancer support programs around in regional Victoria. So we'd like to get the local communities involved and local people involved wherever we can. This next thing I'd like to mention about Deakin University. One of the probably most encouraging things that we've been involved with in the last couple of years is developing a qualitative and quantitative survey with Deakin University about what the actual health and wellbeing benefits are of fly fishing for people with cancer. That study is going on at the moment. We hope to have the first iteration of a report coming out in October, which will be an empirical peer-reviewed paper that will stand up to scrutiny in any academic situation that actually truly establishes what these benefits are and the benefits of our programs too, more the point. But the exciting thing about that is because we have relationships with similar organisations in America, there's some genuine interest in actually taking that study and expanding it to 10, 15,000 people in America and expanding the cohort on a global basis. So the benefit of that study could be enormous. So just an overview of our organisation structure. If I can get the right button here. Which one's that? Bottom green one. That's the one. So Minicast, like I mentioned, is the parent organisation, and we run retreats which are called Casting for Recovery for women with breast cancer. So we've got, and they're registered under licence with Casting for Recovery, which is the parent organisation in America. Those programs are running in the States since 1996. So we're under licence to be able to run them here, Victoria and Tasmania. So we're launching CFR Tasmania shortly. And on the men's side, we run real recovery programs, which are for men with any type of cancer. And that is also under licence from Real Recovery in the United States as well. And then as of next month, we'll be launching our very own Minicast retreat, which will be for women with any type of cancer. So we basically have the whole cancer experience covered. I'd just like to mention some key stakeholders. Victorian Fisheries, I must admit, have been really kind to us. They've been fabulous supports for our programs in terms of stocking and merchandising and backing us, and grant applications, all sorts of things. They've been really good supporters for us. Like I said, Casting for Recovery and Real Recovery in the States have been great supporters of our programs as well, especially in the early days when we were getting everything off the ground. Needed some support to them to get some traction. Peter Mack, we've got some formal relationships with Peter Mack in that they give us actually referrals of their cancer patients. So we're on their referral programs for the Cancer Support Group. Deakin University I've mentioned, and ONJ also from their Cancer Wellness Centre. We're on the referral group for their patients as well. And Look Good and Feel Good Matter I just mentioned before about providing us with the pampering services. So what's next? So our next retreat is in Warrnambool next month, and that's the first women's retreat that we're running. And like I said, that will see us achieve the 100th person going through our programs. Our next Real Recovery retreat is the following month up here at Merrijig. We'll be up at the Seagull at Pinnacle Valley and run our men's retreat in November. Casting for Recovery in Tasmania, we're planning to launch the following year. The dates haven't been locked in for that because we're still organising, but that'll come on stream shortly. And another thing I'd like to mention is there's a major rebranding going on at the moment. The organisation name will stay the same, but a lot of the branding and colours and all that will be changing over the next couple of months. So keep an eye out for that in our socials and website and so forth. Next here, I'd just like to show you a short little snippet from a segment from the AFN Fishing Show, which our presentation colleague here, James Norney, is the host of. They did a segment on our Real Recovery retreat up here in Merrijig in November last year. So I'd like to just play a clip of that now, which gives you a feedback from a participant's point of view about what they get out of it.
Well, you meet the people and you're talking for a couple of hours and it's like you've known them for like 10 years. That's how comfortable you feel. Yeah. And nothing was a problem. You had an issue, like there was one night there I got really tired, I couldn't go to one of the conversations. Not a problem, I just let somebody know, go off to bed, and yeah, it was great. But
because you were originally a little bit sceptical on coming on the first retreat.
I was, yeah, because I, having the cancer, I didn't like all the intention on me. I'm not sort of that person. Yeah. And I got there and I thought, this is amazing. Yeah. It was you just felt at home right away. And it was like virtually the second day, it was like one big happy family. It was great, it was good.
No, it is, it's really special.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So there you have it in the words of one of our participants about their experiences that they're having. So how can you help? Like I said, we're a volunteer organisation. We have to do all the fundraising and all that to get our events up and running. So that comes through, fundraisers, donations, grants, all those sorts of things that charities like us are normally chasing. Volunteer if you want to get involved with that organisation, either as a fishing buddy or as a helper, or even join our committee. Feel free to look us up on our website. There's some application forms that you can send through to get involved. Help promote us as well. I mean, we're always sharing content on our socials and so forth. Look at our website and YouTube channels, and feel free to circulate those around your friends and family. And by all means, if any of you have anybody, and we all know people who've been affected by cancer, let's be honest, who can see a benefit in participating in this program. You don't have to be a fisher. You don't have to be fishing at all. In fact, it's probably actually more rewarding for those people who come from outside the fishing environment. But by all means, get in contact with us and we can see if we can get them along to the next retreat. Again, our socials and so forth, so we're on everything and everywhere, so you'll find us in some of the channels there at some stage, shape or form. The last thing I'd like to focus on, and this is the thought I'd like to leave people with a lot of, because I'm speaking to the converted here. The thing about the fishing and the mindfulness is that release, that sense of when you're focusing on that fly in the water, everything else in the peripheral disappears. There's no pain, there's no money, there's no financial issues, there's no cancer treatment, there's no clinical treatment. Everything else disappears in the background. And for that moment, these people are truly free of those challenges. And that's what this program delivers. And that's why we're changing lives one cast at a time. Thank you.